quick also. He's their most influential player.
I think it's interesting when he doesn't play, how they struggle a little bit offensively. I think he's such a pivotal, and he gives an emotional lift as well. When he's anywhere near the ball, they're expecting him to do something, and generally he does.
A bit like Leeds Rhinos, who struggled without Kevin Sinfield and seem to be playing an awful lot better now he's back. Well, talking of Leeds, their coach, Tony Smith, very sadly suffered from gastroenteritis, and he's been in hospital for the last couple of days. He's going to be watching this match from his hospital bed. So, Tony, we wish you well. And let's hear from the chief executive of Leeds Rhinos, Gary Hetherington.
Gary, what's the latest news on Tony Smith?
Tony's been off all week with a stomach complaint. Went into hospital for precautionary measures on Thursday morning. Spoke to him yesterday. He's making good progress. He'll should be out tomorrow. He was hoping to be out today, but he'll be watching it on television instead.
I'm sure he'll think that looking at a game like this, it's one of those tricky ones, isn't it? Leeds Rhinos will be expected to win, but Harlequins are a team capable of pulling off a surprise.
A quarter-final of a Power Gen Challenge Cup is always going to be a tricky tie. With just one more level to go before Twickenham and the Cup final. It's an exciting time for everybody, the players, the fans, the coaches. So, yeah, a nervous game. I think it'll be a terrific game in prospect. And two quality sides, and certainly in the Harlequins Rugby League team, a very, very dangerous team with some quality players.
Yes, indeed. You wouldn't underestimate a team with Henry Paul in it. And then there's players like Mark McClendon and Luke Dawn. Good side, really.
They are, and we always have a lot of difficulty with them, particularly here at the Headingley Carnegie Stadium. We played a couple of months ago with 24-36, I think, and the result was in doubt right to the final whistle. I think it'll be another one today.
Thanks very much, Gary. Thank you.
Well, in the absence of Tony Smith, Brian McDermott has taken over coaching duties. The Leeds Rhinos dressing room looks significantly bigger than their visitors' one, but I guess if you're the home team, you're allowed to do that. There is Brian McDermott. Now, what about the Leeds Rhinos' key players? I mean, they've got a host of stars, but Rob Burrow is one I personally enjoy watching because he's so small and so nippy.
Well, he's very much like Mark McClendon, but the interesting thing in the last game, the quality of their win against Bradford, their forwards set it up, and Burrow and then Maguire just had an absolute outstanding game off the back end of it. And I think if Peacock can lead from the front, expect Burrow and Maguire to be the instigators, I think, of a Leeds win.
Well, McClendon and Kevin Sinfield leading out their teams respectively. Prediction, Brian?
Leeds by 14.
I think Leeds will win comfortable. The form coming in this is very good. I think Harlequins' win was good, but not the same quality of Leeds. I really like Ali Latini and Willie Poaching coming off the bench. A lot of attacking flair. I expect them to run away with it in the last 20. I expect them to put some big points on.
There's a very, very noisy crowd here. Should have a great atmosphere, let's hope so. Jonathan Davis is alongside Ray French in the commentary box.
Yes, he is. Fulham, London Crusaders, London Broncos for the past 26 years of their existence. But now, Harlequins, a team instantly recognisable by the sight of those famous quartered jerseys. Sky blue, magenta, chocolate brown, French grey, with green sleeves and a black trim, Jonathan. And the Leeds team, well, Jeff Walker would be wanting to mark his last season in Leeds colours with a Challenge Cup winners' medal, but the Rhinos' house, Maguire and Burrow, could be the key to his hopes. The power of the Leeds pack can be gauged, I think, by coach Tony Smith being able to leave out international front rower Ryan Bailey. Jones Buchanan and Nick Scruton retained their places after good games at Bradford last week. And three inspirational playmakers, Mark McClendon, Luke Dawn and Henry Paul, should be good enough to guarantee a safe passage in any cup round. But the team do leak points in defence. Much work to be done up front, though, in the tackling department. Joe and Boo and Lee Hopkins certainly to be tested. And interesting moves by both coaches on the interchange bench. 4 forwards selected, warm work expected. Pitch in perfect condition as Carl Kirkpatrick just gets ready for the kick-off. Harlequins to kick off. Leeds, of course, in equally famous jerseys, sky blue and amber.
Well, one, stand up, stand up.
I must confess, Jonathan, I'm a bit jealous of those Harlequins jerseys. I only ever played in red and white and black and white.
Yeah, very, very famous jerseys.
Well, two, clear.
Can they emulate Hull Kingston Rovers? We'll see.
Well, they're a type of side that can perform and beat anyone on their day. And on the other day, can lose very heavily. So The first 20 minutes will be very, very interesting for them.
Leeds 2 wins already in Super League this season against the Quins, but of course in Challenge Cup rugby it's 80 minutes that counts. Quins sensibly just bringing it away with their forwards. And there we see the new grandstand, the Carnegie Headingley grandstand, £7 million building, be ready in September.
It's a great stadium already, Headingley. I used to love playing here, but with that new stand, it's going to be an amazing atmosphere here when that's full.
Mark Tukey driving it in. Big, powerful 17-stone pack. Henry Paul. Delicate little kick. There is a breeze blowing in the faces of this Harlequin side, and that was well judged, Jonathan.
Yeah, lovely little kick. Lee Smith, Donny Williams, really. There's a lot of space. I thought the ball was going to roll into touch.
Henry Paul, of course, just returned from the Gloucester Rugby Union Club, service with the England Sevens. Rob Burrow.
Stand up! Stand up! Wait.
Nick Scruton.
Oh, clear! Wait.
In good form, this lad. Maguire. Jamie Peacock. Stanningly amateur club product, although signed from the Bradford Bulls last year. Good tackle, did well to get it away, Maguire, but a knock on.
Yeah, Smith knocked it on. Good pressure on Maguire. There he is. Shoots out of the line. Dawn nearly completes the tackle, but there's a little knock on. And a good field position for the Harlequins.
A lot at stake here for the Harlequins. A turnover on the last tackle. Last beat Leeds here at Headingley back in 2000. Now then, can they move it out wide? Yes, they do.
Very fortunate there. I thought there was a forward pass in there. Don't think Henry Paul was
Tukey
expecting that pass.
Chad Randall. Dawn again. McAlinden, good pass. Sebastian Luisi. Saw him play well at Salford on Monday night. Took a knock to the head though. Was a little bit doubtful, I think, for this game.
Stand up, Keith! Wait.
Philemona Lolo here, number 20. Still, the Quins on the attack. Good burst there. On the last tackle. Oh, Tukey couldn't take it.
Still
Can they get that ball out wide? No.
Very good play for young Danny Williams. 3-man overlap on the right-hand side. He had to come in. There's the flick pass. Ball goes backwards. And as the ball goes wide, that tackle has to be made.
Wait.
You can see Dawn, McLinden. If they're given a good platform with this forward pack, they'll be confident of getting the result.
Leeds, though, have the pedigree, 11 times winners of this Challenge Cup, but do have 3 defeats since the millennium. Maguire. Good record against the Leeds Rhinos.
Having extra pressure, isn't he, from Dawn.
On the 5th tackle.
Okay.
Good kick and chase by Diskin.
Make the line.
Bradley Qualilawa, Nick Bradley Qualilawa coming in, helping 1 or 2 of the forwards out. Good strong burst there by Joe Mbu, former academy lad.
Yeah, he had a big game against Salford Reds.
Quite a lot of these London-born lads now making their way into this Harlequin squad. Lee Smith. Good tackling though.
Good defence, Smith.
Hopkins and Tyrone Smith moving up well. And I think that's been one of the aspects of this game so far, the way Harlequins are moving up. Just look at that for a tackle there from Tukey. Play on, another 6 tackles.
Well, I didn't know what Lee Smith was doing there, taking a drive in.
McClendon. Come here, says Ellis. Oh, that's a bad mistake.
That's one thing about the Harlequins. You know, they lose their discipline, make far too many errors, but yet have the ability. There's Smith taking it in. I thought that Tukey must have been thinking it was Christmas, a full back taking in a ball in, smashed in. That's where you want him, Smith.
Lee Smith taking the play down the left-hand side. Oh.
A high shot, but Burrow is so sharp on his feet.
Well, he tends to duck under players, doesn't he? You never know where he's coming from, this little man.
I don't think he knows where he's coming from after that.
Diskin. Trying to make ground.
Did well to get the ball
Did well
out.
to get it away. Smith again. They look very hesitant, Leeds, Jonathan. Not the best of starts.
I just think they're trying to play a little bit too much football. At the moment, 7 minutes gone, get the ball forwards, lay the platform, and then get Burrow and Maguire, you know, pulling all the strings. If you can keep Maguire and Burrow on the back foot, you're doing a very, very good job. There we are. I think the first change. I think O'Neill has come on.
Good movement away from that scrum. Oh, still going. Oh, beautiful ball. Here's a shot. Oh, why did he pass it like that? Why, oh, why did he pass that ball?
Great break, great offload. I thought when McClendon was through, he was in, but superb tackle by Smith. Why didn't he just pin his ears back and go for the try line? I have no idea why he looked for the pass, but what a superb tackle by Smith.
But he passed it
Lovely
to nowhere,
offload.
didn't he? He passed it to nowhere and
Shad
nobody.
Randall, he is a hooker, maybe not a... He used to be in that position. What a lovely tackle by this guy, Smith, but he should have just gone for the try line. Momentum, I think, would have taken him over, but he just threw a wild pass. Very fortunate that he will now receive a dropper from under the Leeds post. So another chance to attack. They must have been thinking, create the opportunity. Should have had points on the board. Good scramble defence by Leeds.
Tony Rader, the Quins coach for the past 12 years. I wonder what he will be thinking. Richard, what news down there?
Well, Leeds are certainly the first to feel the physical aspects of this game. Lee Smith, they were having a close look at him, but Jamie Jones Buchanan, his exit wasn't planned. He's gone off straight away to the medical room. He needs stitches over the left eye ring.
Tukey.
Danny, wait!
Certainly taking it to Leeds defence.
This Quins pack, Jonathan, troubling this Leeds pack. They're making ground, aren't they?
Well, very simple and effective. Nothing flash, just good yardage. And leaving Dawn and McClendon.
Okay.
Nice little kick. Well judged.
Yeah, well played by Scott Donald. Dropped back into the pocket. Read it extremely well.
An experienced player, former Manly Sea Eagles on a 3-year contract here now at Leeds. Rob Burrow. Needs a little jink or two from him, I think, to really get this Leeds pack moving. Diskin. Kevin Sinfi. Oh!
I think that caught the... off the head, didn't it?
Yeah, Lee Smith, no, not an extra 6 tackles. No intention of playing with the ball on the last tackle. Maguire.
I think that might go. Yep. And the kicking game hasn't been great so far.
10 minutes gone then. Leeds 0, Harlequins 0.
Yeah, they've controlled the ball well. They've controlled field position, possession and territory, I think, so far. Can't remember Leeds being in a good attacking position. Very simple but effective.
Solomon Harmono, another ex-Manly player. Half a dozen ex-Manly lads from Sydney in this Quins squad. Huddersfield look to be coasting away with that game now, Jonathan, over there at the Galfan Stadium. 28-10.
And that's the first mistake, which is really why he tried to do this pass. I have no idea. Under intense pressure, and now first real attacking opportunity for the Leeds Rhinos to attack. And with strike runners, Chev Walker, Senior, Maguire, very dangerous.
Sinfield to Maguire. Chev Walker, who will be leaving the Leeds club at the end of this season. Much speculation as to whether he's going down under or even Bath Rugby Union club. We said there'd be some hard tackling, and there is. Sinfield again. Scruton. Done very well to come back this season with a bang. Had a lot of broken bones last year, ruined his season. Peacock struggling to get through. Still going is the lad.
Exceptionally strong.
Oh, powerful lad. Good run.
Yeah, Luisi was in there. Didn't want him to offload.
First real Leeds attack here now. Maguire. Rombodo. They've got a 3-1 overlap out here. Or has he held on too long?
Good defence. Very, very good defence. They had the numbers on the right-hand side.
They've got space on that side. No, can't get it away. Good defence, good scrambling defence there by the Quins.
Very, very good organised defence. Henry Paul marshalled it.
It hasn't been one of the features of the game in Super League. They really do have a bad defence.
Well, it's bad defence, you know, sometimes bad discipline. But yet they have the ability to score tries. If they hang on there, you feel that it's an attitude of mind. Sometimes they know if they concede a few early points, they leave the game go. But then if they're close...
Randall to Mills. To Lolo here, Philemona Lolo here, number 20. Mills. Joined from the Widnes club at the beginning of this season.
Very good kick.
Richard Duckyfield, more news for us, I understand.
Yes, Ray, Leeds Rhinos are concerned about Lee Smith, their fullback. He took a blow in the face, quite a heavy bang on his nose. He's been looked at several times. His nose has been bleeding quite profusely. It may or may not be broken, they're not sure. They haven't been able to stem the bleeding, or maybe it's stopped by now, but it is affecting his breathing, so they're a bit worried about him.
Lee Smith, just 19 years of age, former Driglington amateur, just making his way in the game, Jonathan.
Yeah, he's come on very well, and well, Tukey smashed him, then he had to make a try-saving tackle, so he's certainly been involved in the game.
Mark O'Neill, former West Tigers captain, he's been out with a shoulder injury, so one or two of these lads in this Leeds side might be suffering a little.
And that's what they've got to stop with this dangerous Leeds side, the offloads.
Quins, Jonathan, really crowding this defence in midfield, aren't they? Putting a blanket defence around the play of the ball.
And again, a good run there by Scruton, but three-man tackle.
Senior.
Last tackle, let's see what they do with this.
Let him run, play on!
Good kick. Oh. Good judgment there by McClendon.
It was a very clever kick there.
No penalty, stay tidy.
But it wasn't high enough, really. They didn't give enough time for the chasers to get under it. Very deceptive kick with a spin. There's just not enough height in it.
Danny Williams.
Certainly takes it up hard, Danny Williams.
He certainly does. Former Melbourne Storm player in his second year.
And he's again Hopkins.
There's another good run.
And that's an interesting call. Totting the ball out of the tackle. He's trying to offload.
Yes, he is. You can,
Very, yeah, but that's very, that is very difficult. You know, you can see it.
Well, I think he does.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, obviously he does. But what do? You know, when you go and it's up to the,
well, you
the
don't
ball.
do it, do you?
Yeah, but it's up to the ball carrying player sometimes to secure possession, isn't it? He was trying to offload.
Yes, you did. You stood there waving your arms.
He was trying to offload, wasn't he, Hopkins? And he had to try and stop the offload. Was the inside runner? So sometimes, I agree, it was a penalty, but sometimes you've got to make sure you secure the ball.
You've got to wrap your arms around the ball, haven't you?
Well on! Clear! Hold the line!
Still nil apiece, 16 minutes gone. Harlequins just 10 metres out there now.
They're running good angles.
Joe and Boo.
Stand up! Stand up!
Randall got both options here, left or right. Oh, good dummy there.
Stand up!
3 metres now from that line. Still the Quins on attack. Not the best of passes.
Well, if he...
In fact, the worst of passes.
If he... Another 2 yards and he was away, wasn't he? Donald, great tackle, though. Poor pass. And again, I think Donald...
Captain!
He's bringing him over.
Oh, well, he wants calling Donald out.
Something he said.
He must have said something to the touch judge, I think. I don't think he relished the tackle that was made on him. He looked
I just spoke to Danny
high.
Maguire about the same thing. The last thing we need is players standing up, waving their arms, screaming and shouting at the referee. We won't have it. Well,
Sometimes the referee has got to realise that it's an emotion-filled game. It's a quarter-final of a Powerden Challenge Cup, so sometimes players are going to get enthusiastic and wave their hands about.
But
if they didn't, well, why bother playing?
But you don't shout at referees, and that's the discipline in rugby league, Jonathan, surely. Danny Williams now driving in underneath the post. Henry Paul. Just a little bit too late there. Good tackling there by Gareth Ellis. McClendon, no way through. Good ball here, Amono, can he get over? Oh, he can't get it down. It's like a tug of war there. Can they get him down?
It's like a rolling maul.
Yeah, you're right, you're right. Well, it'll be back 10 metres.
Yeah, I think it's last tackle, yeah.
If you can't get the ball down, back to the 10-metre mark on the last tackle. Luke Dawn.
Up.
Knock on.
Well, the Harlequins look very dangerous when they attack around the play the ball area or first man. Good angles of running, but when they get outside, maybe the centre, second man, seem to lack some ideas out there. And the Leeds defence out wide in total control.
They're both averaging, Jonathan, a 97%
very, very good at the
completion
moment.
rate, isn't it?
Defence definitely, on top, but they're not looking for the slip pass yet. They realise how important this game is. It's not like a league match. One chance you have, you lose, you're out. Simple. As Warrington will know.
Sinfield again. Easily disposed of by the Quins captain, McClendon. No, nothing too dangerous, do you think?
Ellis got to him. He's got him with the collar. Look for the penalty. No, just on the collar, right?
Randall. That's a knock-on.
Yes. Again, not many mistakes.
I don't think Danny Williams was quite sure at what angle he was coming in for that pass, was he?
No, he tried to regather possession. There's contact with the Leeds defender. Now, good field of position once again.
Senior trying to open a gap out in the middle. That defence of the Harlequins, very, very strong there. Chev Walker. 7 years with the Leeds Rhinos.
They're getting numbers in the tackle, are the Harlequins, and they're slowing the play the ball down. Just watch them.
O'Neill.
Oh, good tackle.
Solomon Harmono there.
Lined him up.
Burrow. Beautiful delayed ball. Oh, he's dropped it.
Oh.
Danny Williams had a chance there. Oh, and he knows it, the youngster.
Yeah. Well, Harlequins were complaining there was a block in there somewhere. But if he takes that, the odds are he scores with only McLinden to beat. There we go. No, they read it incorrectly, the Harlequins defence, but if he takes that, he's favourite to score there. You'd be disappointed with that, young Danny Williams.
Another youngster from the Leeds Academy.
It's good to see these young players coming through. If you can develop, 2 or 3 to come through every season, you're doing extremely well.
David Mills doing the hard work at the first receiver. Everybody wants the ball when you get near the opponent's line. It's when you're near your own line that you test the forward out. Who takes it at that first receiver position? Here now, Danny Williams again. On the last tackle. Henry Paul. Now then, that's well taken by young Danny Williams. Richards.
Tim Hartley of the Harlequins team squad. Tim, Harlequins are rattling good start, but worrying there's no points on the board.
Yeah, it's a good game at the moment. Each team, I think, is biding the time, completing the sets and getting a good kick downfield, and no, it's going to be a good game.
Leeds at last beginning to open. That's so holding down. Surely no, says the referee.
Well, there's no full back there now. McLinden's been involved in 2 tackles. Someone's got to drop back.
Diskin again making good ground. Sinfield, good ball out to Ellis.
Good play there though by Purdom. Read the play.
Rob Burrow running it. Maguire. Oh, here's a chance at the corner. Well taken. Superbly taken there by Tyrone Smith.
And I think well taken. Brian McDermott and Tony Smith watching the game. I don't think they'll be happy with the execution on the last tackle. Don't think they've put enough pressure on the Harlequins on the last play, whether it's a kick or a run.
Rob Purdom, former Whitehaven lad. David Mills.
As you said, both sides are good completion rate.
That's a good kick. Just waited to bounce in that in-goal area. And good chase, just look at that, he'll get him over the line.
Yeah, he's on his own. Oh, he's done. Oh, hang on.
Well, Rob Burrow is complaining and saying that he got across the line, but he wasn't tackled, was he, Jonathan?
Well, he is bleeding again, isn't he? He's been...
I think he's had a knock.
Well, a knock. He's had a couple of knocks now. He goes in, but his body angles are too high there. He gets held up, and then Dawn is straight in. And once they get underneath you, you are struggling. And now he's had a bang on the snout again. More claret. It's all over him, isn't it? His shirt. Richard Duckerby mentioned it earlier. Was the tackle completed? The referee said no. He is the boss.
Oh, he's not very well, is he? You can sense it there. And Keith Senior was trying to sort of protect him somewhat. He's taken some knocks.
Certainly been involved, hasn't he?
He certainly has.
Willie Porchin's coming on.
Sinfield with the drop. Joe Mbu spent some time here on loan with Leeds in 2003, and certainly the experience done him good. Last few minutes to go at the Galfan Stadium. Huddersfield leading 38-14, so they look to be going into the draw on Tuesday morning on breakfast time. Dawn.
Oh, well read.
Chev Walker.
Great reading of the play.
Almost waiting like a dark alley.
And that's what you want. McClendon straight on his feet. And that is a very difficult kick. Oh!
He's knocked on.
Well, that was a fantastic kick by Henry Paul. He was held up in the wind. He was swirling near the upright. Maguire had no idea. If he takes that, he scores. Simple as that. That's the first clear-cut opportunity.
And that wind, Jonathan, has strengthened appreciably in the last hour here, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure which way it's going, actually. It is swirling. Again, silly play. That will now give Leeds an attacking position.
Yeah, lying on. And I think he knew too. He had to just look to where the referee was.
Yeah,
so Leeds then.
Comes on.
Leeds then with a good attacking position. Willie Porchin.
Stand up! Stand up! Two, clear!
Jamie Jones Buchanan. Been in good form in the front row. Burrow. Kevin Sinfield. Peacock.
Had to come inside.
Always takes some getting down. Two men again necessary.
But again, they're controlling the pace of the play of the ball.
Burrow, good pass, good delayed pass. There's a chance. Oh, he's lost it. Or was it ripped out?
This might be a steal.
Yes.
From the Leeds player.
And the Harlequins players didn't react as quickly. I think it was Diskin, definitely stolen. Let's have a look. Inside ball, it's a great tackle. Orense makes the tackle.
Yes, but there's only one man.
Oh, I think it's knocked on. I think that's knocked on. He tries to steal the ball, but the last touch, I think, is a Leeds player. Not from that angle. You can't see from that angle. It's the other angle. Just watch this. Does it come off his hand? Last touch. I think that last touch, it comes off Jamie Jones Buchanan. I think it is. No try.
Well, why should it be a try? I mean, he hasn't put the ball down. It's not a penalty try. It can't be because there's only one man tackling him.
Because Diskin touched the ball down afterwards.
I see, afterwards, yeah.
20 metre.
No try. Are we happy?
You forgot about Diskin then, didn't you?
I did. Thanks for reminding me.
There we are. Look, just watch, this is full speed. As the ball comes out, inside, lovely play. Just looks good. There's Diskin, look, touches the ball down. Yeah. If it was ripped out, that would have been a try. But the last touch was by Buchanan. But a lovely play. Lovely inside ball. Maybe that's the first time they've really tried it and cut the Harlequins' defence.
Go on the line,
maybe a little bit more.
An interesting tactic at virtually every scrum here, Jonathan. The loose forward there, Hopkins, coming away with the ball and making 9-10 metres.
Well, that's all they want to do, really. Get away from your danger area and get a good kick in. Be very conservative, the Harlequins. I've been quite impressed with Henry Paul. You know, he's only played a handful of games since coming back from rugby union. He's settled in very quickly. Wants the ball all the time, takes control of the kicking game.
Not often we go 27, 28 minutes with nil apiece in a Leeds Harlequins game because these two sides do score some points, don't they?
Well, as I said, both very conservative, but I think you've got to say it's a lot to do with the defence. They wrap the ball up. There has been many offloads, I think. Only 7 in the game so far.
Right, stand up.
Danny Williams coming in midfield.
Needed a runner there.
Diskin. Peacock again.
He's run hard, hasn't he?
He has. But that's good tackling.
I think
putting him on his ball, well, that's not.
Yeah, definitely.
He's knocked on.
I think he had a call from the touch judge. Certainly lost control.
Yes, he lost the ball, and that's very good tackling. They put him on his back in order to let the defence get back that 10 metres.
Yeah, again slowing the play of the ball down. Very good play.
A little bit of pointing between the forwards could get tasty. This. McClendon.
No one, clear.
Played in a lot of positions, scrum half, standoff, hooker, but seems to have settled into this full-back role.
Stand up, hold.
He's got a roving role, hasn't he? Comes in where he wants to.
David Mills.
Make the line, fellas. Wait for the ball. Wait.
Luke Dawn. Going through. Oh, just can't get the ball away. That was a good tackle.
Yeah, Chev Walker coming for a smash.
Paul again.
Surrender!
It's Pat Wise now has come on.
Henry Paul. Again, well read Jonathan there by that wingman. Scott Donald.
A clever kick once again for Henry Paul.
That's a high tackle.
That's a silly. I think he's bleeding as well, I think.
Yes, he is. He's gone to being sent to the sin bin, to the blood bin.
Clumsy tackle, very clumsy tackle. Let's just watch it here. Good, strong running. No malice.
Go.
Good tackle. I think they've seen to have picked the tempo up a little bit.
Oh, it's well, 1 or 2 smacks usually do, don't they, to get people. Rob Burrow trying to get through. And again, holding down.
And this time,
David Mills just losing it a little bit.
Yeah. Look, they're taking it quick.
Sinfield. Keith Senior. Just 9 minutes left in this half.
Well,
Leeds 0, Harlequins 0.
Would you have taken the points, Ray?
I would have gone for 2. I would have gone for 2.
In a cup game?
Yep. Maguire. Peacock. Luisi came in well. Maguire again.
This is when he's dangerous.
You cannot give this man any gap in your defence. Diskin.
Make the line.
Rob Burrow. Sinfield.
Yeah, still got numbers.
Hesitant a little bit. William Poaching. Can he get in there? I think he will. Oh, he smashed his way right through. And Willie Poaching breaks the deadlock at last. 4 points for Leeds Rhinos. Terrific power play there from the Samoan forward.
And I think that the Harlequins are complaining that there was some obstruction on Henry Paul on the lead up to that try. Ball comes in, just watch if there's any. Keith Senior comes in, look, and he just blocks Henry Paul. Nothing, he still had enough time to make the tackle. Falls off the tackle. McClendon then falls off another tackle, and that's why.
Players ask you to go for the screen, honestly.
No, but hey.
All right.
Mr. Kirkpatrick, a referee who will stand no nonsense, and Willie Poaching just acknowledging the cheers of the crowd.
Just watch. Bouncing ball. Causes a bit of uncertainty. There's the dummy runner by Senior. But he had enough time to get back, make the tackle, Henry Paul. Just too powerful, isn't he, Willie Poaching? And as every goal kicker likes to see, tries to get as close to the post as possible.
And Bradley Kwalilawa was in two minds there. He turned his back, didn't he? He didn't know whether to go for the wingman or stay with Poaching.
Once he missed the tackle, McClendon was never ever going to stop him.
Another 2 points for the trusty boot of Kevin Sinfield.
Here we are. Oh, there's the tackle missed. And once you missed that tackle, McClendon had no chance of stopping him.
Hold the line, fellas. Hold the line. Wait for the ball. Wait there, Pot.
Well, a good decision to go for the try rate rather than take the 2 points.
What do we know?
Yeah, what do we know? And then, but again, poor play by David Mills. Really, he gave 2 penalties away, which gave them, you know, repeat sets and good field position, whereas they were on their own 20-metre line.
They've only conceded 3 penalties, but they've all come pretty rapidly in that period, haven't they?
Yeah, and from the, you know, those 2 penalties give them good field position, which the try eventually came from. That's how important it is to keep your discipline.
Mark O'Neill, number 17, leading the way, and another good run from Diskin.
And now crucial time for the Harlequins before half-time.
Okay, play on.
McClendon.
Let's see this time now. Yeah.
Rob Purdom, number 13.
Here we are, dummy half runs. Leeds.
16 dummy half runs. Well, I think
You're all over him, Jamie.
they've had to make those runs, Jonathan, because they've got to suck in that tight defence around the play of the ball, haven't they?
Yep.
And there's another one through to the semi-final, Huddersfield.
And that's a big mistake by Dawn. Misses the kick to touch.
So, St Helens, Hull Kingston Rovers, Huddersfield already in the bag. Who will it be from here? Leeds or the Harlequins? 6-0 to the Rhinos at the moment. Peacock. Diskin, no running this time. They want that ball out wide to Burrow. Good play from Burrow again. To the wingman. He'd be in the corner. Yes, he is. No mistake this time from the youngster. Danny Williams touches down at the corner. He saw the line and he went for it. Good running from the lad, but good play from Burrow.
Yeah, you can't afford to leave Burrow crab across a pitch. He just causes havoc. He's got quick feet, and this is where it all comes from. A penalty for the Harlequins. Doesn't find touch from that mistake. This is what happens. They go. He gets sucked in. Kwalilawa. It's a try.
When he runs, he drops off would-be tacklers, doesn't he, all the time?
He's so quick, you know, if you stand up to watch the inside man, just too much space on the outside.
He's so difficult to get hold of, though, isn't he? I mean, he's so small. He's only 5'5". I've had bigger Subbuteo players when I was a kid. He really is, isn't he? But he's so tricky. Kevin Sinfield. Been out for some time with an injury. An inspiration to this Leeds side. And especially with his goal kicking. Another 2 points from the Leeds skipper. 12-0 then for the Rhinos.
And as I said, a crucial time just before half-time. 2 quick tries. You know, just watch him. He goes across, feints inside, drops him off. Too much space giving him on the outside. Very difficult for the wing. You know, you got one shoulder on Burrow, one eye on your winger. And that's a crucial try. Second time just before half time.
He is your classic scrum half in a sense, Jonathan. He has the opposition on sort of a piece of elastic. Do you go in to try to tackle him? Do you hold off or what?
Tricky feet.
Very difficult. Good running again. Oh, well. Finally pushed into touch.
Good play, though.
Yeah, good run, but to no avail.
Yeah, good play by Hopkins.
And good play by that lad too, O'Neill. He's been suffering from a shoulder injury since he signed from the West Tigers, but nothing wrong with his shoulders there, or his lungs.
Good burst. Leaked on, Hopkins, they do well. I think Hopkins hurt his hand there. He fell on top of it.
Harlequins desperately needing some points before this half-time whistle sounds. Perhaps the last 6 opportunity for it. McAlinden toying with Williams, but Williams with the pace to go back and catch him. Pat Weisner. Tukey. Good offload to Dawn. Louise. Oh, here's a chance now for Smith.
Great
Good
running,
tackling.
good feet.
Tackling.
Very good scramble defence though by Leeds.
Pressure. Oh, can they get that ball out? They've got an overlap out there. Oh, a bad pass. A chance here. No, will he poaching go all the way? No, he won't. But I think Leeds will just be grateful to have stopped that movement down the right-hand side.
Yeah,
Rob Burrow again.
The missed opportunity by the Harlequins. Numbers on the right. They rushed the pass, and will they make the pay for it?
Leeds keeping this ball in play. Diskin. Jones Buchanan. And there is the hooter. We won't have time for another play of the ball.
Right, very, very close game, right? Nothing really in it except one, a couple of penalties given away by Mills. They scored a try and then a missed kick to touch. And really, that has been the difference in the first half. Harlequins be bitterly disappointed to be 12 points behind, but they've got to keep their discipline.
Well, Leeds go in 12 points to 0, but Quins have had the chances. Can they turn it round in the second half? We'll soon know.
The first half was all about defence. The first try took half an hour to come. When it did, Willie Poaching went through for Leeds Rhinos, runs over Henry Poole, past 2 others and touches down. The second try for Leeds was the result of a sideways run from Robbie Burrow. Watch him go, and then he hands off to Danny Williams, who goes through to give Leeds a 12-0 lead at half-time. Well, there's the Leeds Rhinos dressing room. They've got plenty to discuss, but let's hear from Richard Duckenfield, who's down on the touchline.
With Graham Hallis, the Leeds assistant coach. Graham, there's a bit of a cushion there for the Rhinos, but this tie isn't over yet, is it?
Far from it, far from it.
Okay.
I think we've just shown there in the last 10 minutes that when we control field position, we can take a stranglehold on this game. And I think we need to do a little bit more of that.
2 good tries, though. I mean, the first one, Willie Poaching, was very well taken. He had to be strong. Second one, well, Rob Burrow's try, really, but he didn't score it.
Without a doubt, this team is full of incredible athletes. Any one of these 17 that are on this team sheet today can score tries like that. So, we've got the people to do that. What we need to do is get down the other end of the field and do it from there.
Thanks very much, Graham. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, from one extreme to the other, the match we showed you earlier had 8 tries in the first half, just the 2, and they took a farewell to come for Leeds, didn't they?
Well, they did. Both teams have had opportunities, more so London Harlequins. They've had a few opportunities down this end of the field, and they just haven't taken them, whether it's been the last pass, whether it's been their running lines or their vision. And they've had a few opportunities where, if you go the other way, Leeds haven't been down there very often. I think Brian just mentioned then, only about 3 times they've been down there. So, Brian and I have been sitting here, we've been saying it just lacks a little bit of tempo, this game. It lacks a little bit of, there's some scrums, some penalties. It just lacking a bit of rhythm. And I think that's why I think you're going to find that there's not been a lot of points.
But don't you think that suited the Harlequins here? They needed a slow game. They wanted to grind their way to this end of the field and jag some points and put Leeds under that cup pressure, thinking, oh my word, what we're going to do now, we need to get right down to the other end of the field and maybe overplay. But what Harlequins have done is compound their own game plan by things like poor errors in their own half, which given Leeds field position, and then missing a kick for touch right at the death there. It's a bit of a coach killer. So they're going the right way, I think, the Harlequins. They need to tempo up at certain times to score points. Leeds need to raise the tempo, and that's down to Leeds. They need to force the issue in and around the ruck and play quickly, and I think that will suit the Leeds side.
Let's have a look at some of the key incidents in the first half, because, as you say, Harlequins were unlucky on a number of occasions, mistakes at crucial moments. A break here for Mark McClendon. Should he have scored?
Oh, well, I mean, the composure at the end of it, but they get Leeds defender, I think it's Maguire in two minds here, and the bloke goes straight through the hole. That's McClendon. He gives it to the, I think, is it Wisner? And he should just run, baby, run. You're there, the line's there, that white thing in front of it. You only get 4 points to put it on it as well as pass there. So that's the overplay we're talking about, and that composure element. But he's gone straight through a huge hole, as we said he would before the start of the game. McClendon, just go, run, run. He's over the line, and he tries to find the miracle pass there and just get him on the next play, or get him on that play. That he was capable of doing that.
Now, what about Leeds? They had a few mistakes as well. Danny Williams knock on.
Yeah, early on, Leeds were making a few errors, especially in this half of the field. That's why we side the London Harlequins down here. And just at the end, they created the overlap right at the very death there, and that's just catch it. And I mean, McClendon's a chance, the fullback, of making a play there, but you know, it's just that quality of skill for Leeds early on in the first half wasn't quite there. I think that was the first time they were in the Harlequins half, and the next two times they got in there, I think they posted points.
Jonathan mentioned in commentary that Henry Poole, having come back to rugby league, has readapted very quickly. He nearly came off with a fantastic move, chipping ahead to himself, just didn't quite work out.
I think he's took a bit of rugby union out of this and league. He's kicked it, but the good thing is he chases it. Great desire there. He outleaps him, he does everything right. Just doesn't come up the ball, and that's what the Harlequins need. They need to turn these little opportunities into points. Unfortunately, they've had a few opportunities this end, and they haven't. And I think that the big warning sign for them is Leeds have been up there a couple of times and have turned it into points. Look, I think if the coaching staff in there at the moment for Leeds would be saying, look, let's think about last week's game against Bradford. We had some really good go forward, and off the back end of it, our halves, Burrow, Maguire, and Lee Smith at the back, we'll be talking about let's get some yardage, let's earn the right, and then these players can really stamp some authority on the game with their attacking prowess, their speed, and they've got some good vision there. So, you know, I think that's what they'd be talking about at the moment, Leeds. And I think probably both teams at the moment would like to get in a bit of a rhythm. And like you said, London like that.
I think this is the Burrow-made try. I think he comes round and he skips in, and he attracts three defenders, does Burrow. He's just such a clever player. Oh, sorry, this is the Williams try. Yeah, the Willie Poaching try. Henry Paul's trying to claim he's been impeded by Sinfield, but he gets out there to make the defensive play. And we see enough Harlequins numbers in the frame there, but hey, Willie P's got good strong hips, good strong legs, lifts his leg out there, and they're very, very difficult to stop near their own line.
There's no impeding here. See, it's the defender who puts his hand up. The defender then pushes off. You know, there's simple one-on-one misses there. There's no interference there at all.
Robbie Burrow obviously was involved in the build-up of that as well, but the second try for Leeds Rhinos, he made this, didn't he?
And that's the danger. You give Burrow running space, and this is the coach killer, absolute coach killer. Because in a cup tie, that's the one thing you can't afford to do. Give Leeds free possession back. That's such a pin in the bubble for you. You know, that deflates the team, gets them to this end of the field. Very similar setup. Burrow attracts three defenders. Who's going to take him, who's not going to? You've got to hold your line on this fella. Let him run across the line and squash him if you can. What they do is end up backing off, and he jinks in and out of the hole and frees Danny Williams to go down the sideline here with a free running try. And that's because the three defenders back off on Rob Burrow, and that's the one thing you can't do. That's the one thing he's wanting you to do. Senior does a great job by half holding the inside defender and coming on the inside, but that's great play from Rob Burrow.
Ray French came up with a cracking line in commentary, which was, I've got Sabutio players bigger than this guy. But he is that quick and he's got great vision.
Well, he has, and you know, the thing is, people when you're small like that think, oh, that they're easy pickings. Big blokes do not like defending against Rob Burrow, because what happens is they plant their feet and they stand there and they go, what's he going to do? Is he going to beat me left, right? Is his speed going to get me? And they feel so vulnerable. And the most important thing when he runs across field is your line to stay together and have communication. And they didn't have that, the Harlequins. And I think that probably, if you look at that there at the moment, the finesse of the Leeds team is a lot greater than the Harlequins, and it comes from their halves. And I think the halves are playing really well at the moment. GB coach here.
Yeah, he'd be excited.
He'd be excited. That it's an area that they're a little bit vulnerable. But no, Burrows, I think, is going to have a fantastic half this half, because I can just see even Mark O'Neill, when Poaching comes up, on, Ali Latuti, if they just earn that right, they're defending very tight, London. And because they're defending tight, there's some space on the edges. Earn the right, let Walker and Senior finish it off.
I just think the big player for Leeds as well is Sinfield. He organises them around the field and allows Burrow and allows Maguire to do the running plays that they want on the fringe there. He needs to organise those bigger blokes. Right, get me forward here, and a two-pass play to one of my quicker halves.
But amazing, the contrast of this first half to what we saw earlier. Hull KR knocking Warrington Wolves out of the Challenge Cup. It's the big upset of the quarter-finals. 40-36, Hull KR won. And it really was a magnificent match. 16 tries in total, and Hull KR coming out on top. Great result for Justin Morgan, who, remember, his coach took Toulouse to the semi-finals last year. He has taken the only non-Super League side left in the competition through to the Final Four, and also through to the quarterfinals from yesterday, as you know, St Helens, and you saw the result come up on your screen earlier. Huddersfield are through. Robbie Paul scored 2 tries as Huddersfield beat Salford 44-14. We'll just take a break away from Rugby League for a second or two. Yesterday, if you were watching Grandstand, you'll have enjoyed the most magnificent finish to the derby at Epsom. Sir Percy getting up. He's only in third now. He's going to come through on the right-hand side on the far rail, on the inside of Dylan Thomas, getting up to just deny Dragon Dancer Dylan Thomas. Hallebeck finishing fast in yellow. What a derby it was. And I spoke to Marcus Dragoning this morning, who said Sir Percy was a little bit sore, he thought, and then actually found out he had a shoe just slightly out of place. They took the shoe off, put it back on again, and he's absolutely fine. He's hardly lost any weight, and he said their options are pretty open, but they think they'll go for the Irish Derby next, which is in 4 weeks' time. Well, 24 hours after the English Derby, the French Derby has been taking place at Chantilly, and the favourite here was trained by Aidan O'Brien, ridden by Kieran Fallon, a horse called Aussie Rules, who had won the French 2,000 guineas over a mile. The French Derby, not like the English Derby, is only over 1.25 miles. They changed the distance a couple of years ago, and that should work in Aussie Rules' favour. He'll be coming out of stall number 1, and he was 11-4 with British bookmakers. Olympian Odyssey, who'd been third in the 2,000 guineas, yellow colours for him, a 7-2 shot. Aris is 7-1, trained by Andre Fabre, Olivier Pellier, and watch out for Best Name, and also Darcy, a 14-1 shot coming out of stall 7 in the green colours of the Aga Khan.
He's gone in, so ready? They're off. They race over 2,100 metres. Newmead misses the start quite badly right at the back of the field. Got a good early position for Aussie Rules. Olympian Odyssey is up there, Art Deco, and also Hazim show prominently, and Hurricane Cat right on the outside. Darcy, won a good test of stand, was up with them, and Irish Wells is also racing prominently, so they begin to settle down. Art Deco restrained now as Olympian Odyssey against the rails in the yellow. Tracks through Irish Wells, who's going to lead, but now Hazim, Ted Durkin, has gone through to lead. Looks over, sees he can move ahead and get to the rails, and that's where he goes. So Hazim leads. In the pink jacket on the outside is Hurricane Cat and Art Deco with the white face between them. Then comes Irish Wells, purple sleeves on the inside. Ara, red and blue is very wide. Darcy in the Aga Khan's green and red is in behind this. And then comes Olympian Odyssey with the black stripes on the sleeves. Best Name in yellow colours is also towards his outside. Spectres behind these, and the dark blue, Kieran Fallon, Aussie Rules right against the rails. Newmead has made up a little bit of the ground as it lost at the start and races in behind this. And then comes the hoop jacket of Fenn. He's being vigorously chased along his barra straight at the back of the field as already they begin to turn towards home. Hazim, Ted Durkin in yellow, leading up to the pink jacket of the Hurricane Cat in second place. Arrows travelling strongly on the outside in third. Irish Wells is in fourth place, but being driven along. Darcy is on the outside of those with the nose band. Then comes Hello Sunday, the light blue and yellow jacket, and behind this is Olympian Odyssey as they head down towards the last couple of furlongs. Olivier Pellier's arrived in front on Arras, so has to go for it now. Darcy is in second place. Hazim is staying on strongly against the rails. Art Deco behind those in third place. Then comes Hello Sunday. Champs-Élysées is really motoring right from the back of the field, but Ara heads them down towards the final furlong now. Darcy in second place. Up on the outside, Art Deco, and also coming strongly is Best Name, but it is Darcy and Christophe Soumillon have taken the lead as they run to the line. He wins it for the third time, Soumillon, on his 25th birthday. Darcy is the winner of the Prix de Jockey Club.
The Belgian-born Christophe Soumillon, on his birthday, he rode the favourite Vissindar in yesterday's derby, only finished 5th, but he's won the French derby 14-1 the price you would have got this morning with British bookmakers. Best name finishing very fast in 2nd. It was a French-trained 1-2-3 with Arap finishing 3rd at 7-1. Now, also in France, if you want to watch the tennis, press your red button. Amélie Mauresmo, the Australian Open champion and French woman, playing in front of her home crowd. And earlier on, Roger Federer won very easily in straight sets, so he is through to the quarter-finals, its last 16 stage at the moment at the French Open. Well, here at Leeds, we've had a pretty cagey defensive first half. Leeds coming through in the last 10 minutes or so to score 2 tries. They lead 12-0 against Harlequins. What will the second half bring? And you were both, Brian and Ian, talking about what Leeds need to do, but also what Harlequins need to do if they're going to get back into this.
Well, they probably need to attack a little bit more over in everything. You know, their kicking game, especially when they get down this end of the field, they look like they're going to all of a sudden open up Leeds on an edge, and they just don't look confident enough to run in the right holes, or they're running a little bit out instead of running square. Like Keith Senior ran square and preserved the space, put his winger away. You'd like them to see them do that, but look, they need to score first, they need to have a good kicking game, they need to keep Leeds in their half. Otherwise, I think Leeds are just starting to get in the rhythm of the game, and I think this could be anonymous for them.
If you want tickets for the final, it's at Twickenham. Remember, on the 28th of August, the number is there on your screen, and phone up and book your tickets now. It's very, very hot out there, Brian. Will that have an effect on the players?
I think it will, probably on the bigger Harlequins forwards. We've got some front rowers out there that were starting to blow towards the back end, that 10 minutes, and that's what we saw with Leeds, picking up the pace, picking up the tempo, and trying to trouble the Harlequins forwards. It's going to be the same. I think they'll compete again for this first 20. Find a couple of offloads, Harlequins, and you might be in this game.
Let's rejoin Jonathan and Ray.
Quite a contrast then to the Hull KR Warrington match, but Jonathan, defending takes energy, and both sides were struggling just a little bit to cover the flanks in that first half. I think we'll have some tries, don't you?
Well, I think, yeah, it was 76 tackles each. So, you know, I think both sets of forwards, both sides have been very, very comfortable defensive, and the difference has been 2 mistakes. So I do feel if Leeds score first in the second half, that'll be it. They need to attack.
Have taken 2 of their 3 chances. Tries to Poultry and Williams as the sun comes out here at Headingley Carnegie for the first time, really.
Someone's hurt.
Time off. Play the ball, Danny. Yeah.
Lee Hopkins.
He was injured at the end of the first half. So.
Yeah.
Wait for the ball, fellas.
Looks to be winded as much as anything. There's something wrong with that shoulder.
Pressure.
No. Don't know whether it was the high tackle or not, but here are Purda, beautiful little kick. Oh, he just can't take it. Right. Oh, goodness me.
I felt there was a knock-on in there anyway before that, so the referee would have gone back to look at the video. Oh, how unlucky with that bounce.
Pat Wisner just couldn't take the bounce.
I just feel, like I said, you've got to try and create a little bit more now, the Harlequins.
Surrender!
Rob Burrow moving into the acting half-back row, bringing Peacock in at an angle. Shrugs off one tackle, but well handled by Rob Purdom. Yeah. Diskin again. Just look at that, Jonathan, the number of times he's moving at the acting half-back. He's giving momentum to that lead side all the time.
Once you go forward, Peacock is very good at this. Everything Diskin, you're watching the amount of times he runs after Peacock has taken the ball in.
Oh, beautifully picked up there by McAlinden. Now then, can he get down the outside here? Yes, he can. Oh, he just can't get away from Keith Senior. Terrific run there from the Quins skipper.
They've got to go wide. They've got numbers now.
Good ball. Luke Dahl going himself. Now then,
he's got to go.
He's going for the corner. Smith's chasing in. That's the try that they wanted. 4 points for Harlequins. Wonderful play down the right-hand side by McLinden. Switch to the left and superb rugby.
Well, when McLinden breaks all the players run to try and get a McLinden. The best thing to do is get the ball away. Just watch this. Lovely step. Cuts through the line. Gets on the outside of Smith. Senior gets back. Now you've got to get the ball as wide as you can quickly. Chev Walker comes in. Doesn't get the ball. Lovely dummy. And Smith is not going to get done. He's too quick. A very good try. And that is what they needed. A very loose game. And those players, once again, McLinden and Dawn.
Rob Purdom.
You've got to try and kick these conversions, you know, because Sinfield has kicked his. Can't afford to miss these 2 points.
Collected 13 goals in the 82-8 defeat of Barrow in the 5th round. But this one a little more important than some of those. He misses it. Just the 4 points then. But Harlequins making a statement early in this second half. Thanks to that man, McLinden.
Watch this. Watch Chev Walker. He runs in here, number 3.
Wait for the ball. Wait for the ball.
There we are. Lovely dummy. Good pace. And he's in.
On the line.
McLinden there using the big man, Tukey, as a dummy runner. The Harlequins started so well.
Right the line. Oh! To me.
Tackling Maguire. Didn't drop him though.
Some big men in this Harlequins side. Luisi. Paul.
Again, space. You can't leave it bounce.
Well, they do. It's a good bounce for them, isn't it? Fortunate bounce. Good tackling there, though.
It is a fortunate bounce, but you've got to commit to the ball very quickly.
Richard?
Yes, Ray, it looks as though Harlequins might have to continue this comeback at the beginning without Lee Hopkins. As Jonathan noticed, he damaged his hand in the first half, and then very quickly after the restart, it was damaged again. They are worried about it. They are concerned. There could be a fracture there. They're having a close look at it now in the medical room.
And there we see him just having some attention at the back end of the Leeds dressing room. Shane Millard there, number 14, the hooker, the sole survivor of that last Challenge Cup final between these two sides in 1999. Although we did have a spell at Widnes for a couple of years.
Go on! Clear!
Leeds crowd starting to get behind their side.
Well, I think they need to do, because the Harlequins are commanding possession in this half, aren't they?
Yes. Well, they did in the first half. They just made those errors and Leeds punished them.
Henry Paul switching well to the blind side there. Rob Purdom. Wally Lauer.
Getting good width on the passes, but there's no runners. That's a kick.
An interesting kick.
Chase,
Smith.
Chase is good as well.
Good running there though by the youngster. Can he get through that gap? No, he can't. Good tackling there by Lolo here.
Yeah, I think he fell awkwardly on his ankle.
He has. He's been in the walls this afternoon as the young lad.
Stand up! Stand up!
Just having some treatment. Keith Senior. They've kept a good grip of Senior, haven't they? I mean, he's a big man if he can get away.
So is
Burrow.
Purdom as well.
Jones Buchanan.
Oh!
Poaching. O'Neill. Peacock. Oh, can he get that ball away now? He don't need to do. God, terrific. Oh, he's lost it. But he tends to carry the ball underneath his wrist, one-handed, doesn't he? There's always a chance of that.
That is the danger, isn't it? Look at this.
Just look
pushes
at this.
Dawn off. Fens again, looking for the offload. And look who's on the inside shoulder. young Maguire was there.
Tight heads, fellas. Heads in the scrum, Robert.
But that's the
Heads
danger.
in, heads in.
This is Smith. Watch his right leg. Oh, that's nasty. Just gets it out, just catches. So, thankfully, he's limping. That could have been a lot worse. He's lucky to get that leg out of there, but he's not looking very comfortable. You see how they reshuffle.
Yeah.
Because with O'Neill, Miller, Lautiti and Poach in, someone will have to drop back into the full back row. But
Henry
with,
Paul.
Sinfield, he's such a versatile player. He'll fill somewhere and put someone full back.
These Harlequins forwards beginning to make ground. Lolo here there. McLinden, good ball again. Terrific play here. Can he get it away? Oh, he does. And a knock on and another chance goes begging.
Poor tackle once again by Peacock. He certainly imposed himself in the second half, offensively and defensively. Just watch it. Come down the play the ball. Once again, that channel. Watch the tackle. Peacock makes a great effort to get back. Just knocks the ball on.
Yeah. Just a support player, not near enough to Weissner, was he?
Yeah.
Senior, but Leeds know they are in a big game here at Headingley.
Well, at 12-0 down, he thought the heads might have dropped, but had to score early, and they did. They're still in this game.
Number 28 there, Michael Warrensy, another local lad from the Greenwich Admirals amateur side there in London, making his way now in rugby league. Millard. Jones Buchanan.
Lee Smith has kind of walked his injury off.
Burrow. Scampering about, causing trouble every time he runs forward with that ball. Sinfield. Well taken.
Not enough pressure by the Leeds players.
Oh. Well, now then, did he just drop that ball, or was it ripped out?
I don't think there was anyone near
I think
that
he drops
ball.
it.
And I do. Let's have a look. He comes in, good tackle. Well, he had his hand in there, so the benefit of the doubt goes to the Harlequins.
And, well, thought it was a little fisticuffs. This is Hopkins warming up again.
Didn't like that, doing all that stuff before getting on the pitch. It's hard enough when you get
bad
on.
enough when you get on the pitch, isn't it?
Exactly.
They really do warm up these days. They start about an hour before kick-off. They go during the half-time. Paul. Been well held in midfield.
Very professional now. Even the warm down is hard.
Number 6 there, Danny Maguire. I hesitate to say this, but we've not seen an awful lot of him. But when you do, he shoots through and scores, doesn't he?
It's early yet. He only wants half a chance, and he will be in. Doing well because the platform isn't there yet, is it? By
on the last tackle,
forwards.
gone. Now then, that was knocked back. Is it the last tackle, or has he scored? I think Michael Warrensy may have scored there.
Well, what happened there?
The ball was flicked back. It's a question here, Jonathan, as to whether the ball was flicked back just before it went in to the touchline. But Warrensy, he was up there.
Well, very, very simple. So let's have a look at this.
Now
I think Daniel has given up on it, hasn't he? He's given up and he's ushering the ball into touch.
He knocks it back.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that.
No, that seems to go
Absolutely
behind.
nothing wrong with that. If he takes this, well,
there's no stopping him from there, is there?
well, Lee Smith really didn't do anything there, did he? That is a try, without a shadow of a doubt. It's got to be a try. Nothing wrong with that.
Leeds were expecting the ball to go into touch, and it didn't. It's a try.
And that
So,
is Danny
a battle.
yeah, that's a mistake really by young Danny Williams. He was ushering the ball into touch. Very, very good play by Qualilawa, and Warrensy scores.
Well, this lad Michael Warrensy, as I said, one of the many London youngsters now taking up the game of rugby league. Over 250 schools in the capital playing the game, and we're seeing one or two products here tonight. Rob Purdom with an important kick. Oh, it's there! Leeds have got a fight on their hands. 12 points to 10 for Leeds. Just 2 points the difference.
Will it? Just stay in the line a split second longer. All right. Just in case you get caught.
All to play for now, and how simple was that? Lovely little grabber. They expect the ball to go out. Good play, very good play, but also very good play by the touch judge as well.
Well, I wonder is Tony Smith, the Leeds coach, still watching there in hospital, Jonathan, or have the nurses moved him to a quieter position? Because this is going to be some game in these final 28 minutes. The Harlequins driving downfield.
And their tails will be up now. The pressure, will be on Leeds. The crowd gets slightly agitated.
Ali Lawatiti coming onto the pitch from the interchange bench. They certainly need some running from him, one or two of his offloads. There he is in the tackle, trying to rip the ball out. He can't though. Good holding there from Solomon Harmono. Henry Paul again with a tester.
And again,
it's swirling about. Oh, that's an awkward bounce. Well,
they've got to sort it out. They've got the back three have got to work as a unit. They've got to communicate, and you can't allow that ball to bounce. They haven't been particularly good kicks, but no one's committing to it.
Just look at that territorial advantage
Harlequins
there.
Again, dominating possession and territory. But with this lead side, one chance they need. So many strike runners.
Burrow, the one man who can get Leeds out of trouble here. Brian McDermott, one of the assistant coaches.
I think he'll be sweating a little bit.
He will.
Left in charge by Mr. Smith. And again, look at that very, very
well
poor
read
execution on the last play. And that's what they've got to work on. I think the execution and the ideas on the last play has been very poor by Leeds.
Bradley Qualilawa, big strong man doing a forwards job there. Good running again from the acting half-back position. McAlinden coming more and more into this line. The Quins now oozing confidence. Lolo here, former Auckland Warriors and South Sydney player. Paul, beautiful pass. Yawn. Good tackling.
Last tackle, let's see.
Running it, no they're not.
And again the chase was there. We had Louisian Smith chasing that ball.
Two points the difference.
Heads in, fellas, heads in. Heads in, heads in, heads in.
Well, we've had one massive upset in the Power Gen Challenge Cup quarter-final ties this afternoon. Will we have another? Just look at the spirit there of those Harlequins. 3 men, 4 men, forcing the Leeds player back.
Look at it, that's been interesting. Set started, completed. The percentage has certainly dropped with Leeds in the second half. That's pressure, mistakes. And one way, keep the ball away from Leeds, put the pressure on them, give them the ball in poor field position.
Pico, terrific tackle there.
Big hit.
Knock there from Harmono.
Lined him up and hit him. And big hits like that really lift the side.
On the last tackle. Danny Maguire.
And again, look at that poor execution. They've really fielded the ball so easily, the back three.
Every kick seems to find a Harlequins player.
And the difference is, the yardage then is so easy. The first 3 tackles, easy to make, and then the forwards come in. Watch his tackle, Haimono. Boom, comes in, reads it, smashes him.
The lead Leeds fans underneath the south stand here really making their presence felt. That's a knock-on.
That's a mistake, and you can see how happy the Leeds players are. They know they haven't had any field position. Nothing. Misunderstanding.
Just
That's
overrunning it.
Abu. And now this is where Harlequins have got to be alert. Leeds can score from anywhere. And that's what gets, even when they're not playing well, they have the ability to get themselves out of trouble by the strike runners that they have.
St. Field using the blind side well. Maguire trying to evade Henry Paul. Well, he might have been in rugby union for a few years, but he knows the league tactics. He covered that blind side well.
I think he looks to be enjoying himself once again. That's the difference.
Millard down the blind side. Good stuff. Good tackling there though by Rob Purdom, and that's holding down, and that is a bad penalty to give away. Keeps the pressure on the Quins.
They're going for it. Still going for the try again.
For the try. And that man Peacock again, difficult to put down. 5 metres now from the Harlequins line. Millard to Maguire. Burrow.
Overlap.
Titi. Oh, beautiful offload. There is a chance. And Donald is in. Scott Donald is into the corner. And it was that pass from Titi that just gave him that extra inches out wide. Superb effort. They kept the momentum going. And Leeds increased that lead. 16-10, the conversion to come.
All from the knock-on, wasn't it? The mistake and then the penalty. They go over the try. Watch this ball by Titi. Runs out of Luisi, flicks him. And that pass really created the overlap. Tyrone Smith caught in two minds. Just watch. Up, what should I do? What should I do? Should have... Very difficult. He should have stayed out, I think, Tyrone Smith. But he was ball watching. Titi got sucked in a little bit. Still had the overlap on the left-hand side. Very clever play.
Scott Donald.
Just got sucked in a little bit.
Had a very good season with Manly last year. 21 tries in 24 games and grabbing a few here in Leeds. Scott Donald. And this breeze really beginning to sort of float around the stadium, Jonathan. He's sort of kicking into it, yet he could flight it.
Yeah. He doesn't take it very far back.
No.
He doesn't give himself much of an angle, does he?
He doesn't.
He's very accurate at what he does. He'd be a lot happier now, McDermott.
Happier, but he can't relax, can he?
I don't think so.
And Ian in the studio, any comments at the moment?
Yeah, they really need to score there, Leeds. It was quite interesting. They've come a little bit negative here in the second half. Their kicking game hasn't been anywhere near as clinical, and that's where they're very hard to defend against when you're against Harlequins with McClendon at the back. They need to make him chase for the ball and not receive the ball in the fall. I think the good thing about Harlequins, Luke Dawn's coming to his game on the left-hand side. He's running across, dropping players back on the inside, which has caused the Leeds defence some problems. That's the area they've got to continue at. Leeds, they just get a little bit more clinical on their kicking game. They can drive them home.
All credit, though, to the Harlequins to contain what is the best attacking record in Super League. 450 points to date in the season. But this looks better now. Sinfield to Titi. He's got some space again. Oh, the big man's pounding away. He gets it to Donald. Now then, Donald's got a ball inside. And there is Danny Maguire. Wonderful rugby from the Rhinos. That's what they're capable of. As Ian Millward said, they can score whenever they like. And they've done so. Did I say he was having a quiet game? She doesn't think so.
Well, Titi certainly made a huge impact since coming on. Set up both tries. This is crucial as well. Look, he wrestles, struggles, turns, and then pops the pass. They get the ball wide, one long pass. Watch this now, they stand off him, good feet, one-handed, push Donald away. That's it, on the inside once again, simple try for Maguire. All the work was done, Lauatiti.
It's interesting that this man Lauatiti missed out on selection in the great 13-0 win over Bradford last week, but Tony Smith brought him back, Jonathan, perhaps thinking that there might be one or two caps out wide there in this Broncos outfit.
Well, you pick horses for courses, don't you? And when you have a player of that skill on the bench, you just hope he comes on and does what he's done today.
No problems with that conversion attempt then from Kevin Sinfield. 22-10 now for the Rhinos.
Just watch him, they stand off him, bang, both feet, one-handed, acceleration, I think catches him out, and he's away. And once he's away, they all track back to try and get to him. Space is on the inside, and either Maguire, Smith or Burrow, or even the referee, Kirkpatrick could have scored them. Ronnie's very happy.
And the ball just, it looks like a sort of an orange pip in Lauatiti's hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, from being a conservative, having a conservative approach to this game now, I just feel that if they want to win this game, they have to be a little bit more expansive. Offloads, only 3 offloads in the game so far compared to the 11 of Leeds, and that has been a difference really.
Chev Walker bottled up there by Joe Mbu and Pat Wisner.
There we are, look, offloads, 11-3, less errors made, kick less as well.
Good ball, there's another one, Millard, he's got Maguire again, little change of pace, looking for support. Can he find it? He finds Keith Sinfield, Keith Senior rather, and there he finds the wingman again, Danny Williams, his second try of the match. Great thrill for the youngster. England under-18s player, former Winmore amateur lad. They'll be singing and dancing in that amateur club. Danny Williams.
Again, this is all about the offloads. There's Lauatiti, one offload, lovely inside. But this is the money ball. Bang goes through the tackle. Millwall is free. And from that, they work it left-hand side. Maguire is there, they're all in support very, very quickly. Inside ball was on, good run, a good play, in and out. Very good play, well, good take as well by Williams. And that
3 interventions by Ali Lauatiti, and the
tries,
points have come, haven't they?
Yep.
Good selection there from Tony Smith.
There were question marks over a couple of passes in the last 2 tries by the referee, and touch judges have been there and given again benefit of the doubt to the attack inside.
Sinfield.
Lovely strike.
With a good kick, some real force behind that kick. Picks up another 2 points, and at last 1 or 2 contented Rhinos supporters, and so they should be after tries like this.
There's the offload. Lovely pass. Have a look at him. Watch it out. This is any centre. In, out, holds the player. Good take.
Well, we said we'd see some tries, Jonathan. Has that Harlequins energy ran out, especially out there on the flanks? They're not covering across as they did in the first half.
They played a conservative game, and now the game's opened up and they need to score tries. It will be playing into the Leeds' hands.
And Leeds playing expansive rugby. Willie poaching here now. Full of confidence now, the men in blue and amber. Millard, a quick look to the left, but decides to push it down that open side. Lauatiti, here he is again. Well held that time. Good tackle there from Tyrone Smith. Millard again. Good burst again from that anti-half back row. Beautiful ball out wide to Donald, and he's in! Oh, that's classy wing play. His second of the afternoon, and he took that ball at full pace from Millard. Leeds Rhinos now running riot.
He's made a difference as well since coming on. The hooker, Shane Millward, been involved in everything, been sniping, offloads, a couple of offloads, and that try is really down to him. Just watch this again, spots and markers, only one markers, goes through the tackle. Lovely pass. Again, maybe forward, but touch judges are there to read those. Very good pass, actually. Good support play by Scott Donald. And that's what this Leeds side can do to you. Fall off tackles, leave the offloads go.
Shane Millard, last 3 seasons with Widnes and previously with the London Broncos. Kevin Sinfield with Leeds since 16 years of age. But no conversion this time. I don't think he'll be too bothered at this stage with tries like that from Donald. 32-10 in the lead.
Here we are, there's the offload, hands through the tackle. Lovely ball. And you're not going to stop this guy from there.
And good wingmen like this man, they take those passes, Jonathan, don't they?
Well, he's a good finisher.
Mark O'Neill.
It looks like the dream of Harlequins going to Twickenham is over.
Won't be happening.
No.
Unless there's something quite sensational here.
No,
Nick Scruton.
Can't see it happening.
Get up, Joe! Get up, Joe!
Sinfield. Now that's a better kick. Stretches McClendon there. Sends him out to the touchline. Allows the Leeds players to get there.
It's a better kick, and just look where the tackle's made, just on the 10-metre line. And make it a lot harder for Harlequins boys to take it out now. Should make it a tougher kick, which Leeds will get the ball back in a better attacking position. Look at that now.
And suddenly, with 10 minutes remaining and a scoreline of 32-10, it's the Leeds players who are moving in so quickly now.
There we are, total meters. I think a lot of that has been the second half, really. It was very equal in the first half. 2 mistakes being the difference.
Well, in fact, Jonathan, 3 tries in 7 minutes.
Well, as I mentioned, they haven't played that well. Numbers.
Here's a chance now for Quinn, stretching it out wide. They've got a 2-1 out here. Good tackle by Maguire.
As I said, I don't think Leeds will be happy with their performance. They'll be happy with the result. A lot to work on, but the offloads came thick and fast.
Good running.
They have the ability to score those tries.
Good running by Luisi, but the pace of Maguire tracking him down all the way.
Yeah, when you've got so much confidence in your pace, Luisi wasn't going to go very far.
Lee Smith recovered from his knocks to the nose and his leg injury. Gareth getting a little bit of facial treatment there from Danny Williams. Burrow. Burrow, oh, I thought he was going through. Beautiful passing there. Why did I say that? As soon as I said good passing, he gives a bad one.
Man, I think that was a free ball.
Tight sets, boys.
There we are. Bouncing ball. Just maybe gets a hand to him.
Yeah. I think with 8 minutes remaining, Jonathan, it won't have too big an effect on the game.
Danny, let him in. Let him in. Let him in.
McClendon.
Stand up. Two.
Quins looking for some movement down here. Rob Purdom trying to get through. The Londoners know they have to move this ball wide now. McClendon. Luke Dawn. Good switch inside. Good play here from the Harlequins. McClendon. Dawn. Good play. Good tackling though too.
Play on.
Oh, Tyrone Smith. Has he got it away? Here's another chance. Still going. Has he got it over? I think Pat Weisner scored there. Yes, he has. Perseverance down the right flank from the Quins. And a try in there for Weisner. But again, good play from that high kick. Keeping the ball active.
Been very good on the last tackle. Great take, and just watch, he keeps the ball alive. He knows he's going to ground, just pops it anywhere. Comes off Burrow's hand. Hamona just slips it up. Don't panic, pushes it back inside. Henry Paul assesses the situation. Very, very good try. Very good try. He's missed again.
Missed the goal though. I think he took it a little bit too quickly.
Oh, he's got to take the kick quite quickly because they need a score.
32-14.
Yeah, a good angle by Weisner.
Good try from the Harlequins, but I do think time now running against them.
Hold the line.
Lee Smith to take the kick off. Just 5 minutes remaining. Harlequins will want some more points for respectability.
Unfortunately, that's all it'll be.
Go on! Stand up! Hold the line! Wait! Go!
Oh,
Danny Williams taking it forward. Ali Lauatiti having a terrific game since he came on.
Right, clear! To me.
McClendon. Henry Paul, beautiful ball, cutting out the man. Smith, but good tackle. Oh,
lovely play,
still play on, says Mr. Kirkpatrick.
But again,
Can the Quins score again?
Burrow was there, wasn't he? Pierce, Burrow, Maguire.
Paul. Joe Mbu on the last tackle. McClendon. Again, chance out wide. Tyrone Smith is in. Yes! And they've scored again. Well then, another 4 points.
Yeah, I think it's too late though.
But it's good rugby from Harlequins. They've given a good exhibition here this afternoon.
Dennis the break. Good play, but he just keeps on going, keeps the ball alive. Just don't panic, goes to the ground, and here we are, the last play. Ball comes wide. Lovely ball, McLinden. And Danny Williams falls off the tackle, really.
And Rob Purdom with the kick, but I'm afraid not successful again. 32-18 then for Leeds. The minutes ticking down, perhaps too late for the Harlequins, but what about the man of the match here, Jonathan? One or two candidates?
Yeah, I think Rob Burrows had a big game, so has Jamie Peacock, but purely for his impact, it was a close game. But when this man came on, Lauatiti, he certainly made a difference. And for his impact on his arrival on the pitch, my Power Gen man of the match is Ali Lauatiti.
And a sudden change in the weather over here at the Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Little rain sweeping in now. But Danny Williams still taking Harlequins forward. McLinden, they're not giving up. Good ball out wide again. Luisi, 2 tackles remaining. Luke Dawn. No dummy this time, that man of the match, Lauatiti, waiting for him. McAlinden. Smith's underneath it, takes it perfectly.
And he's off.
Leeds beaten finalists to Hull last year, now just a couple of minutes away from a return possibly to the semi-final. The 12th Challenge Cup semi-final in 14 years.
It's a 40-20.
Well, it will be if it goes in touch. Oh, now then, who can pick it up? Can he hold it? No, he can't! Oh, terrific strength there from Williams, and that's his hat-trick.
Payback time, isn't it? Payback time.
The young lad made a mistake on his first attempt, but how he's repaid the fans for their support. Hat-trick there for Danny Williams. He chased, and good luck to the lad.
Yeah, he fell off the tackle previously, and Tyrone Smith scored. There he is, bounces back, tries for the 40-20. Happy to get the 40-20. The ball checks, gets his foot to Danny Williams. Chiesini does so well. You think the tackle's made, Tyrone Smith goes for the ball, he slips through and scores.
And who said we wouldn't have any tries? 11 tries, 9 in the second half.
Yep.
Rob Burrow then taking the conversion attempt in the absence of Kevin Sinfield.
Just pushed it.
And again has similar problems with that win, but there is the hooter. No more tries, no more points, but a very satisfying performance from that man, Danny Williams, and that man there, Rob Burrows. 36-18 to Leeds, and they advance into the semi-finals. St Helens, Huddersfield, Hull KR and Leeds in the draw on BBC breakfast time, 7:30 on Tuesday. Whichever teams meet, Jonathan, we're in for 2 fascinating ties.
Yeah, fascinating. You know, Leeds and Helens clear favourites going into, you know, the semi-finals. Hull KR, fantastic result today. Huddersfield will be delighted that in the semis. So everything to play for, but not their greatest performance, Leeds, but the ability to score tries really took them through very, very easy.
And if you have that ability and men and stars like this man Peacock and that youngster there, Danny Williams, you're always in with a shout.
With the Leeds Rhinos skipper Kevin Sinfield, congratulations, Kevin. I suppose 3 tries in 7 minutes in the second half was the story of that game.
Yeah, it probably was, yeah. It was a really tight game and we expected that, really. The Harlequins are a tough side and we're happy to come up with a performance that gets in the next round.
Would you agree that we only saw the kind of form that Rhinos are capable of midway through the second half, really?
Yeah, you're probably right, but credit to Harlequins' defence. You know, we've had a bit of a mixed week. As you probably know, we've got our coach away. He's been in bed all week, so hopefully that'll put a smile on his face. But it has been a bit different for us. The coaching staff's been magnificent, and Brian McDermott stepped up, worked real hard, and I'm delighted for him today. We got a good result for him.
And the young Danny Williams, 3 tries, not bad, is it?
Yeah, awesome. He's getting better with every game.
Thanks very much, Kevin. The Power Gen of the match. Congratulations, Ali Lauatiti, well played. I mean, not a try for you, but I mean, you were involved in the 3 most important tries I think that Rhinos scored there, weren't you?
Yeah, I just took part in a small part of the game, and all credit to the boys, all credit to the coaching staff. Yeah, no, it was a team effort and team win, and I don't know what I did. I just came on for about 10 minutes.
Tell me, I mean, midway through the first half, did you think that it was going right, that there was something there? It didn't look to be going too well for the Rhinos.
Yeah, you know, London's a good team. You know, they played really well in the second half. Yeah, I think at times, it was a tough period, and yeah, I think the boys lifted, and you know, we come out with a good result.
Well played, congratulations, Harry. And a hat-trick of tries for young Danny Williams. Congratulations, Danny. I guess maybe that should be the most memorable game you've been involved in so far for the Rhinos, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to get a hat-trick in the Challenge Cup quarter-finals. It's very special. I didn't expect it. I made a few errors and I just felt like I had to score just to make up for him.
One thing about the opposition, about the Harlequins, the heads didn't drop, did they?
No, they never. They came out strong in the second half. They kept on fighting. They got a couple of tries, but all look for the Leeds fans. They stuck with us and pulled us through. Just kept on shouting and shouting for us. It was really good.
Congratulations, Danny. Well played. Right. Let's have a word with the Rhinos' victorious assistant coach, Brian McDermott. Brian, I suppose, as I said to Kevin Sinfield, 3 tries, 7-minute story of the game. Was that the Rhinos that we really ought to be seeing in this competition?
I don't know. It's been a tough day today, and it's been a tough week for us. So as far as what's gone on there in the game today, I'm a bit up in the sky. Tony Smith's been in hospital all week, and I just want to say to the boys, thanks a lot. They've responded really well to it, and it's made an easy team to coach. What actually went out there today, I thought were pretty tough. The boys haven't had their coach today. That one's for you, Smithy.
Well, it was a cup tie, wasn't it?
It was a cup tie, and you know, you try and coach a game of rugby league as a game of rugby league should be coached, but there's that added bit that if you don't win, you're not going to go through to the next round. So there's a bit more added pressure on there. You know, put into account that we had 1 or 2 more people poorly this week. The head man's been poorly this week, so it's a bit more than just a win that for us this week.
Thanks very much, Brian. Tony Ray, the defeated Harlequins coach. Commiserations, Tony. Your Harlequins side have nothing to be ashamed of, have they?
Yeah, terrifically proud of them. They were really gutsy. They kept trying to find a way back into the game. At the end of the day, it was a split game the whole way. Both sides had chances, missed chances, but there was a 13-minute period, I think, in the second half where we didn't see the ball. And you go through those periods, you allow players like Ali Lauatiti to grab a grip on the game, and then their support play come in. But you know, other than that, we lost the ruck a bit then, but I was really proud of our guys. They really give it everything they could have out there. And
the head should not be down at all, really, should they?
No, I'm proud of them. They'll know that too. You know, I thought they really ripped in today. And yeah, bounced the ball here and there, we'd have got away with that one, and that's what we wanted to be in there fighting hard, and we're going to have our day for sure.
Thanks very much, Tony. Thank you.
Well, I suspect that Tony Smith, the Leeds coach sitting watching this in hospital, is feeling considerably better now than he might have done at the start of the second half. Because in the beginning of the second half, the momentum was all with Harlequins.
Yeah, it's funny. We associate momentum with one-day cricket a lot of the time, you know, when a team starts flaying the ball to the fence with 6s and 4s. But in rugby league, sometimes you can come out of the dressing room at half-time, you're 12-0, you feel comfortable just before half-time. And a lot of things you talk about at half-time, you think, well, yeah, we've talked about them, but you've got to put them into action. And this probably goes in here. Luke Dorn comes up with a try here. And just the defence. Player coming out of the line, not staying together. Nomination's very poor there. No need to come across the player on the inside. Another player buying a dummy, he's heading out. So they're all over the shop. And so you're probably getting back at, you talk about momentum again, saying, hey, listen, guys, we had the momentum before half-time. Where did we lose that? And that's concentration. That's things a team like Leeds doesn't do very rarely. They're very, very clinical. They're very astute in things they do. So, and then you look at the game when Ali Latiti come on. That was momentum.
Well,
too.
that's the point I was going to make to Brian. I mean, Harlequins scored again after that first try. So they'd gone 2 tries up, as it were, at the beginning of the second half. Ali Latiti comes on, and suddenly things change.
And don't they just? What a big man he is, and what great skills he's got. He's got the ability to attract 2 and 3 defenders and still find a sensible pass play. Some of the plays he makes are not high risk, they're low risk. He's got the great grip on the ball and can make it work magic. And he attracts defenders, as I say, and he's turned the game entirely on his own half. You think this we see the first one. You give Ali Latiti a running opportunity and a 3-on-2 opportunity as we get here. 3 Leeds attackers against 2 Harlequins defenders, and he's going to convert this all the time. He makes the right play, and Donald gets in at the corner. He steps in and out on the set one-in defender. The defender defending 1 in from the wing, and it's a run-in for Scott Donald. Great finish, and Latiti again finishes the play-off.
And Latiti broke again to pass to Scott Donald, to then pass to Danny Maguire, who scored, and Leeds suddenly were in control of the match again.
He's changed the game, and he's been given. Jonathan gave him the man of the match on the back of what he does here. He just goes, this is straight from the kick-off. His ability to attract 2 defenders, see how he goes in and 1 and tracks, see 3 defenders, makes the break, and says, go on, Scott, you just score a try because you're a speedster. I don't want to run 60 metres. Inside ball to the great Leeds support team, as we've seen. Maguire's always there, Lee Smith's always there, Rob Burrow's always there in the pitch, as you see. Once they're into your backfield, it's good night, Vienna.
And Scott Donald's had a good game as well. We were talking about the ability of Latiti to carry the ball with one hand. You were telling me that you can train. I mean, your hands aren't very big, but you can always do it. So.
No, I mean, players are taught how to carry a ball with their thumb and their grip and all that. And in all of his practice, it doesn't matter how big your hand is. I'm sure there's people out there saying, I bet he's got huge Samoan hands and all that. It has nothing to do with the size of your hands. It's the ability to practice it and learn how to grip properly. He's one of the best at it, and there's a lot of young second rowers out there trying to emulate what he does, because it gives you an extra tool to your armour. Instead of carrying the ball in 2 hands, you can hold the bloke off, you can get the ball away, and I think the modern second rower has to have that in his armour now.
Leeds absolutely in the end have run away with it. You said the impact of Latiti, but also the options that they had. And the 2 good wingers, I mean, Danny Maguire and Danny Williams, but also Scott Donald, who's had a very good game.
And the money ball there is from Shane Millard. He attracts 3 defenders, and the great skill again to get the ball away backwards. That one wasn't forward, a bit debatable, maybe one of the other 2, but any good winger is pushing and really hard trying to get his name on the board to get over the whitewash. But that was Shane Millard, seeing an opportunity, poked his hand through and managed again with that great skill to find Donald.
I think you mentioned also there earlier, Shane Millard, when he come on, he gave him an extra dimension. Diskin's a very good hooker, and they've got 2 very good hookers there. Another area of the modern game, you've got to have 2 good hookers. But he was strong, he was probing, he was very direct, and they just started winning the ruck area. And I think Tony Ray alluded that. We started losing the ruck area. Once we lost the ruck area, we couldn't put numbers around Ali Latiti. Thought Millard, he changed the face of the game also.
I think two ways that they lost the ruck. Smartness, which is Millard. He attracts defenders. He doesn't physically use his prowess. Diskin's slightly different. He's just quick. He jumps out of there, and people want to jump on him through his physical prowess. So a bit of smartness and a bit of physical prowess has ruined London in the end.
Well, thank you both very much for expert analysis. We've had 2 matches of very differing styles, I suppose, on Grandstand this afternoon. And let's just confirm the final 4 in this year's Power Gen Challenge Cup. St Helens went through yesterday. They're still hot favourites to win the cup. Today, Huddersfield have beaten Salford 44-14. Hull KR, the big shock of the quarter-finals, have knocked out the Super League side Warrington Wolves. Hull KR, the only lower league side through to the Final 4. And Leeds have beaten Harlequins 36-18. The draw for the semi-final will take place on Tuesday morning, 7:30. You can see it live on Breakfast Television. Now some news on the test match. Monty Panesar has taken 3 wickets to put England back in contention in the 3rd and final test against Sri Lanka at Trent Bridge. Sri Lanka 283 for 7 now, so it's going to give them a lead of probably up to 290, but they're 285 ahead at the moment, so England still have a tricky total to chase if they're to win. Now, Sport Relief, make sure you tune into BBC One this week to watch All Out for India, a 2-part programme as part of Sport Relief. A team of celebrities led by Phil Tufnell go to India to play a couple of cricket matches. Andy Flintoff puts in an appearance as well. With the World Cup now just 5 days away, there have been a number of friendlies today. Among them was a 1-1 draw between Holland and Australia. Ruud van Nistelrooy and Everton's Tim Cahill on the score sheet. There was also a good 3-1 win for Ghana against South Korea. And Drogba scored for the Ivory Coast. He beat Slovenia 3-0. None of them, though, as impressive as England were yesterday against Jamaica. A 6-0 win, as I'm sure you were watching, in a hat-trick for Peter Crouch. Well, talking of the World Cup, England fly off to Germany tomorrow morning. The BBC will be right with them. They are your World Cup channel. The World Cup starts in 5 days' time, so stay with us for all the sport this summer. Bye-bye.